Has this ever happened to you before? You get a request for information via text message or email and you feel super frustrated? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you a system that I've been using for well over 10 years to help me quickly capture, organize, and recall information, which has helped me to eliminate frustration. Welcome back, my friends, to this channel. My name is Suteen Simplecom. Today, we're going to be talking about how to leverage free software and how to leverage the power of web browsing bookmarks to do what I just mentioned. For many of us, we're doing a lot of our research in front of a display, especially a web browser. As a result, there are many tools out there that you can use to organize your thoughts. But one tool that I've been using for over 10 years that has allowed me to quickly capture and organize and recall things is the bookmarks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through how I do it. Come along. Let's take a look at an example of what is an unorganized toolbar of bookmarks. What you're seeing in front of you at the very top here is someone that has a bookmark toolbar containing ESPN links, credit card links, Netflix links, something with student, all the way to welcome to Costco. I've seen this quite a lot with my students and my peers out there, that they'll just pretty much capture anything, bookmark something that is of interest. Furthermore, you'll notice these two right arrows over here. If you click on this on your web browser, especially Chrome, what Chrome will show is a list of other bookmarks. You may have a few, or I've seen others that have quite a bunch, up to 75 to 200 bookmarks that they've just kept bookmarking. This is a quick and great way to capture information. However, it is not a good way to organize your thoughts or organize and categorize the information that is available. So what I'm going to show you in the next section is an example of an organized toolbar where we are organizing these particular bookmarks into a structure, into a folder that is meaningful to the viewer, which is you, so that if someone comes to you and says, hey, you know what, you need to register for X, Y, and Z. Well, you know what, here's a bookmark to go register at Maricopa County Community College. Well, if you're just reading that, you can infer that it's welcome student, but is that what it really means? Especially if you have that bookmark, deep in a list that may contain 50 to 75 to 100 other bookmarks, okay? In this section, I'm showing to you an organized bookmark toolbar that I created. Here, you'll notice that I've organized the bookmarks into folder structures. You'll also notice that I've organized my bookmarks based on importance. For example, what is important to me, I like to put in the upper left because I know that I can immediately click on Gmail. I can immediately click on Waze, which is what I use to determine my routes from home to work or home to the golf course or some sort of event. Now, because I'm working from home, I want to organize my toolbar based on work. I can structure it in the following sense. Based on tools that I use, maybe I want to go to the HR section of my corporate website to sign up for benefits, etc. If your department has a wiki, you can put a bookmark in a wiki folder. If you have Office 365, you can bookmark your business Office 365 and put it into the following folder. I've also bookmarked stuff that is important to me in relationship to my home life. So here's a folder for my house. I've got utilities, I got electricity. So if I get the notification that says, Suteen, you've got to pay your water bill, I can immediately come here and click on my house, utilities, electricity, APS, for example, or my water bill for Peoria. I can click on that and be immediately taken to that login page where I can log in using my account, my password, go in and then pay my bill. Down here for mortgage, if you got a mortgage, which a lot of people do, or if you're paying a rent, you want to be able to have that link to go pay for the rent or the mortgage, you can immediately create a folder structure where it's simply mortgage or rent, for example. Now, just to move on along, if you've got bills, for example, other than my house, let's say you've got cars, you want to pay your Toyota payment. You've got credit cards. Let's say you have Citi cards or American Express. You can immediately come here and click on, say, American Express, and be taken to the login. And then obviously, if you've used Chrome before, when you enter in your information, you can use Chrome to save your credentials, and then from there, these fields would be populated, okay? And then obviously, other than paying credit cards, maybe you have an investment, be it through one of these investment institutions. This is only for example, but you want to be able to access that information immediately instead of going through your statements or Googling and then thumbing around to see, all right, am I at the right web page? Do I have the information available to me? So as you start capturing the information immediately, what you want to do is you want to create these type of structures, okay? So I last finished the previous section talking about, enrolling in a community college. Here, my son is a dual credit going to high school and community college. So I have a responsibility to enroll him in Maricopa County, so I can have a link there, and then obviously log in, how to pay as a parent, etc. These things are important to me because I do this once every 3 months. Obviously, for 90 days after I do it, I'm going to forget. So how I structure my web browser to capture and organize the information so that I can recall it immediately is, to put it into a structure. Now, obviously other things, for example, is, medical. If I have to schedule, an appointment with my doctor, I can click on a link to United Healthcare or my ZocDoc portal for my doctor. If I need to, check to see what is the status of a dental bill, I can put it into this following folder here. Now, enough of me describing my structure, but let's start like this. Let's just say I'm researching cameras because I want to buy a new camera. Here, you can go to Google and let's just say I want to research Sony A7 or A7C, for example. I browse through it, I take a look at it, I see what's there. I come here and I want to learn more about this product and everything, and I want to keep going. Maybe I want to take a look at the A7C, A7S III. I can take a look at Canon. I can do this and immediately capture this right here and say, you know what? Click on this star. It has a name. I can put it into the bookmark bar, or if I know that I'm going to be doing research on cameras, I can then say choose another folder, or just click more here. And up here, highlight the bookmark bar. We're going to do camera research. And you'll notice that I immediately put in the word research because when I come back to this web page and then look at the toolbar, I want to see immediately, oh, there's a folder there for camera, but it says research. It triggers my mind to tell me that I'm doing research here. So I'm looking at all this. It looks good. But let's just say I want to take a look at a Canon EOS something camera. I can click on that. I can come to Canon here, and then I can, look through their products. Let's just say for YouTubing, this is a very popular camera. I can click on here, and then, just take a look at it. I want to compare information. What I can do is just click on this, and immediately you'll notice that Chrome will pop up this bookmark added, and if you were to click on done, it will immediately save this bookmark into camera research. So that's what I'm going to do. And now let's just say I want to do webcam because I'm researching webcams out there. Google brings up quite a lot, but I'm interested in, say, the Logitech. Same thing, I look at it, I can peruse around, I can look at products, but more importantly, I can come here, look at camera. I see that the price difference is pretty gigantic, but I'm gonna go big. I'm gonna go with a Rally camera. I take a look at all this, but more importantly, I'm gonna bookmark this so that I can have quick access to it later on. So I've done all the stuff. Now what I want to do is, let's just say I want to do streaming, okay, cameras, or let's just do this. I want to learn more about the Sony A7C document, or I would do documents, okay, instructions. I can look for, oh, I noticed that, you know, I've seen this before, but I forgot to bookmark it. I can come here, find the brand that I am searching for, which is Sony, the model, which is this 7C. Obviously, I've been here before, but I didn't bookmark it, okay? So now you'll notice that I've looked at this startup guide before. I can click on the startup guide. I can see the information that's in front of me. Maybe I accidentally, you know, threw this information in the trash when I purchased the Caribou, for example. What I can do is immediately click on this bookmark and then, you know, save this PDF. Now, the reason why I brought you here is a lot of people capture the information immediately, but now because you know you're capturing this information, what I highly recommend is, you know, just put some sort of keywords or phrases in front. We'll do Sony A7C, A7C, I don't know what this is, startup guide, for example. And then what I'll do is I'm just going to do a space here and click done, okay? And just like that, I've, you know, bookmark, captured this information immediately. So now you'll notice that I put it into a folder, but what I want to do next is I want to organize this even more. What I can do is go to this ellipse here, okay, up here. When you click on this ellipse, they call it an ellipse. It's actually 3 dots. You can go down to bookmarks. You can do the bookmark manager, and now you're showing the bookmark manager. You'll notice that I created a camera research folder. I can click on that. You'll notice I've got Alpha, Sony, mirrorless, Canon. But here, this is where I'm going to show you how you can structure this by creating a new folder. We'll call this Sony. And then I can drag and drop all this Sony stuff into here. Okay, and just like that, I'm now beginning to structure this. Obviously, if you know what you're doing, you can immediately build folders and subfolders when you're bookmarking the particular web page or PDF, for example. You notice that there's a Logitech. What I'm going to do next is, because I know I'm going to do more research for a blog that I'm going to create, I'm going to create another folder called Logitech. And then just drag that in there. And then I know that Canon is coming out with their new products pretty soon. Put in Canon and then drag and drop that stuff into there. So just like that, I'm able to structure my bookmarks in such a way that should I decide to close all this, for example, I can immediately come here and see camera research, okay? You know, we'll just close all this. I can come here and say camera research. Oh, what's there? Sony, and immediately go to that particular web page that, you know, I've saved. Now, now I've showed you how simple it is to capture information, structure the information so that you can immediately see what's there, okay? What I recommend to my students and to those who work with me is from the left to right, organize the toolbar from an important standpoint. You'll notice right here, I'm a big fan of golf. I'm following this golf tournament right now. I can keep clicking on refresh all day if I want while I'm working. But let's just say I want to pin this. So you'll notice that my mouse is over this home page. If I right click on this, okay, what will happen is I'm going to be displayed a drop down menu that allows me to reload, duplicate, or pin. Here is something that I highly recommend to people is click on pin, because now it is going to pin this particular web page to the web browser. Here, I'm going to open up a new tab and I'm going to open up my Gmail, okay? So when I open up my Gmail, I log in, I get to take a look at my emails, etc., but I want to keep it in my browser so I can have immediate access to it. I can do the same thing, right click, pin here, and just like that, I can go between, you know, catching the golf score to reading email. the other thing I want to do, because it's important to me, is I love to, read the news and everything. I can come to my media. I can go to Wall Street Journal because maybe I'm interested in finances. I could come here, do that, and then right click this, and then pin it again. And then immediately I have the web page to the Wall Street Journal accessible to me at any point in time as I'm doing my work, as I'm doing my research, perusing the web. Now, you'll notice that when I clicked on the media here, there's also another folder that I created for subscription. I'm touching upon this because this is a great segue. I'm touching upon this because many of us, we subscribe to subscriptions and we forget. It could be a paper subscription like GQ, it could be Inc. magazine, for example, etc. And then what happens is every 6 months or a year, we look at our statement and it's like, oh, somebody renewed a subscription that we forgot. More often than not, you're going to receive an email, okay, that says, we're going to renew your subscription. More often than not, a lot of people out there forget that there is a renewal coming. What I highly recommend to, again, my students and those who I work with is just make a folder, magazine subscription, put something in so that when you do get that notification, as a reminder, you can act upon it by clicking the link that they provide immediately, or sometimes they don't give you a link. You come here and see media, magazine subscription, click on it, go to the subscription pages. If you want to change your information, your credit card, or just simply cancel it, you can definitely do that, okay? So now, we did that for the Camry research. I also want to highlight something here. You'll notice that there are icons here. This is something I learned from somebody else, so I can't take any full credit about it, but you can look for emoji web pages or pages that have emojis, for example. So here is an Emojipedia. You can come here, and because it's camera, I can search for camera, for example. Okay, find a camera. Oh, camera, flash, movie. But let's stick with camera. So what we're going to do is we find this camera. It's an emoji. I'm going to click copy. Come up to here. I'm going to right click on this. Rename it. Okay. And what I want to do is I'm going to paste this camera in front of this research. The reason why I'm showing this to you is most people that I know, and most humans in general, they're very visual. So what that means is when they take a look, for example, at a toolbar, immediately they see, wow, Waze, it looks like a car. It is embedded into their memory that this icon is for Waze, especially if you use Waze. Here, when you see an icon that says, first cross, or with a red cross, it symbolizes some sort of medical. So it's medical, and then obviously dental, and then obviously research. Because I want to talk a little more about this, I can come into here, click the rename, and immediately just return, get rid of the dental. And just like that, I just have a folder for dental. This is something that triggers something in my memory that says, oops, this is dental, all right? For you, it could be a verbal to just say medical. So then you can just click on this medical folder, go register for an appointment, go look at your billing, your claims, etc. These are things that are available to us to use, that are free, that we can use to capture information, organize it, and then recall it immediately. From a recall standpoint, typically what happens is the more you use it, the more you're going to remember it. The more you remember it, the more you're going to be triggered as far as from a symbol, from a process, from a habit that, hey, if I see dental, there's teeth, it's a dental. If I see a camera, it has to do something with camera. When I see the word research, it tells me that I'm researching something, for example. All right. So now the next thing that I want to talk about is what I call the classic noise disturbance. Let's just go to YouTube, for example. I think it's hip hop, relax. No, let's go to this one. Angry Chef, no. Let's go to Bruno Mars. So now you're listening. You're listening to music. You're going to say CNN, for example. That music finish. You're like, okay, the music's finished. You're looking somewhere else, and then all of a sudden, you could be multiple web pages in, and then you listen to the song. Like, where's this song coming? Well, here's a tip. Up in the upper right, you notice that there's this music icon, and it says "Control Your Music." You can click on this little icon, and it's going to show you what is playing on your web browser. So here, I'm going to click pause, just to pause the music. Bruno Mars, he's got a really good vibe, very good song that's coming out. But the point is, I'm doing my work. Yes, I did go take a look at YouTube to look at something, but I want to continue doing my work. I want to do research. Maybe I want to learn more about Next.js, okay? Because I'm a programmer. I can come to here, but once I get that song, it's like it is interrupting your pattern. So what you can do, especially when you hear something like that, is just come here. All right, what's running? What's playing? You can, fast forward it. You can stop it, or if you wanted to, and this is another tip or trick that Google has, is click on this picture-in-picture so you can see it on the bottom right. My recommendation from a productivity standpoint is watch your music, take your 5-minute break, turn on your Pomodoro timer and work for 25 minutes, okay? And then the other thing is always remember to turn off your notifications so that you don't get interrupted when you're doing work. So this is my framework, my system that I've been using for well over 10 years to help me capture information immediately so I can then organize that information so then I can recall that information. There is one more thing I'd like to bring upon to your attention and talk about. This entire video has been done in a dark theme per se. I want to highlight the following down here in the lower right. If you click on this customize, what will happen is the Google web browser is going to bring up this customized page for you. I can do a no background, or because I'm very colorful and I want to be able to enjoy my workspace, I can come here and say, let's take a look at, seascapes. Okay, I can click a look at the seascapes. I want something blue. Maybe not, but maybe I just want to take a look at landscape. Okay, come here. I live in Arizona. I get to see a lot of desert, but I would like to see some gorgeous, colors, such as this image of a nice island. That's the best way to describe it right now because it is a beautiful looking picture. I can click done, and just like that, instead of just working in a web browser that is not colorful and popping out, you can just click on that lower right, customize your background image. I also want to highlight one more thing, this add icon. Everything that I showed to you here is very simple, very easy to do. It just takes some time to organize it as far as the images, but you can also add an icon that says, just to make it easy, I love sports. I'm going to do ESPN and then do www.espn.com. And just like that, I can just come here and look immediately, boom, in dead center, ESPN. The other thing that I like is Netflix, guys. Netflix. I can go here, www.netflix.com. And just like that, I've got Netflix. So my friends, we are at the end of this video. I just want to recap what we've gone through. As you know, in today's world, we are inundated with a lot of information. This is a system that I've been using for the last 10 years to help me capture quickly and organize the information in such a way that I can recall it when I need to. Everything I showed you here is what I'm using today. So for those that I want immediate access to, if I log in, this is the first 4 or first 3 icons that I'm going to see: ESPN, Netflix, and golf. And then in the upper left, anything that is of priority, I put in the upper left, such as Google Mail, Waze, I like golf. It's the weekend. I like Wall Street Journal because I want to learn more about, finances, especially on how the economy is doing. So this system has lifted a lot of weight off my chest. I am not as frustrated as I used to be or frustrated to that level anymore. Now, with that said, click on the link here on this page because I am coming out with another video. This particular video is going to be focusing on budgeting. My wife and I, we've got a brand new college graduate who is starting out at work. We've been working with her for the past 6 months to a year, actually longer, about creating a budget so that when she leaves the nest, she has a budget. She'll be able to pay her rent, not mortgage. Eventually she'll get a mortgage, but pay for the rent, pay for the car, the cell phone, and everything. My firm belief is what you see, you can control. What you cannot see is what is going to knock you out. A famous phrase from boxers. So in the same thread, if you don't budget and if you don't know what is coming, it's going to hurt you in the pocketbook and it might set you back a couple weeks, couple months, or a couple years. So look forward to that link to that new video and click on it when it comes out. I'll talk to you soon. I'll see you soon. Have a great day.